Hi, I'm Edward Lowe with MotorTrend, and today we're up in beautiful Mammoth, California with 4 luxury SUVs. Behind me is the 2009 BMW X5 xDrive 35D. Next to it is the 2010 Lexus RX 450h. And next to that is the 2009 Volkswagen Touareg 2 TDI. Over here on my right, the 2009 Mercedes-Benz ML320 BlueTEC. Now these are 3 diesel and 1 hybrid SUVs, and we're out here in the snow to try to figure out which one is best. Why don't you come join us? Okay, so we're now in the 2009 BMW X5 xDrive 35D. This SUV is powered by BMW's twin-turbo inline-6 turbo diesel. It makes 265 horsepower and a whopping 425 pound-feet of torque, the most out of our group of SUVs that we have. It has a 6-speed automatic transmission and has this funky little remote control style gear shifter. And on the road, it's actually one of the best drivers here, if not the best. Editors really liked the thick steering wheel, the heavy steering efforts. It's got a very stiff chassis, and it really does feel like it has a lot of grip when you're on the road. It also has BMW's patented xDrive system, which allows torque to be split between the rear wheels left to right, whether you're on throttle or not, which makes it very, very good, particularly in high-speed cornering situations out on these canyon roads, and it is very, very fun to drive. There are some negatives to it though. The tires that are on this particular vehicle are terrible off-road. We've managed to get this BMW stuck a couple of times, even though it has a lot of torque and a pretty good four-wheel drive system. One of the main criticisms by a lot of our editors though was that this thing really does seem to be light on a lot of the high-tech features that you would expect in a car that costs $65,000. For instance, there's no backup camera, there's no fancy navigation system. We're still stuck with iDrive, which has still a lot of complaints, a lot of bugs to work out. In general, it just feels very Spartan in here when you compare it against a Lexus or even the Touareg. The trade-off is that, if you like black and a real functional cockpit-style driving setup, you get this in the BMW. Same with the seats. Some guys really liked them. I particularly like them, but others found them to be a little stiff and sort of weirdly canted backwards. Otherwise, this again is one of the better driving premium SUVs that we've ever driven, and it can perform well off-road if it had better tires. So, even though the X5 xDrive 35D is great on the road and turned in the best diesel fuel economy of the group at 22.0 miles per gallon, at over $65,000, it was deemed too expensive and not capable enough to finish anywhere but 4th. Okay, so we're now in the 2009 Mercedes-Benz ML320 BlueTEC. This is one of the diesel luxury SUVs we have here, and this one is powered by a 3-liter V6 that makes 210 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Now this is a turbo diesel, and that's a pretty healthy amount of torque, which means it has a lot of get up and go. It really does move down the road nicely. Transmission is a 7-speed automatic with paddles. It's the only one in our group that allows you to shift the gears on the fly based on the steering wheel, and makes this car quite responsive and a pretty nice drive. There are some things that our jury does not really like about the ML. Styling is sort of middle of the road, neither here nor there for some. Interior, there's a lot of beige in here, there's some nice wood and some muted metal tones here, but it doesn't dazzle as much as, say, the Volkswagen Touareg. The steering, it's kind of light, can make the car feel a little floaty, but it is considered to be a pretty good long hauler. The seats are quite comfortable, it rides pretty good, and when you take it off-road, it's pretty competent there too. It's got things like downhill speed reduction, adjustable dampening on suspension. You can raise and lower the vehicle when going over obstacles. So a lot of different features, a lot of different options in this car. The one thing it really doesn't have, and it's really obvious when you get into this car after getting the Lexus, is that it's kind of low on high-tech features. It does have things like a backup camera, but man, this navigation system and using the stereo on here is really a large step behind from some of the stuff that the Lexus has and the VW has. It's just really frustrating. This command system really needs to be upgraded. At 21.6 miles per gallon, the ML320 BlueTEC finishes 3rd in fuel economy. That's where it ended up in our final rankings as well, given its strong but not standout performance. So that leaves us with our final 2, the Volkswagen Touareg 2 TDI and the Lexus RX 450h. Stick with us for our next video where we decide which one of these two is king of the hill.